Okay, so today we are learning about Keith Haring. And so one thing we're going to do is we're going to make some figures with our pipe cleaners here, and then we are going to use them to draw like the artist Mr. Keith Haring. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my first pipe cleaner, and I should have two, and I'm going to, in the middle, make a loop, and that's going to be my head. So my first pipe cleaner is going to look a little bit like this. And then I'm going to take my second one. I'm going to put it through my loop that I made, or my head. And now I'm going to try to make sure I make the two sides even. I'm going to bend it in half. So that's going to be my body and my legs. And now, so that they'll stay together, I'm going to twist these together so that I'll have legs and a body. So I'm going to twist my guy or gal here together, and it's okay if they're not exactly the same. Mine's not. You can always cut it, or maybe if you want them to be a little bit wonky, that's okay too. So I have my guy here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make him in some sort of action pose. So I'm going to make my little person here. He's going to be kind of like doing maybe a dance or like a superhero kind of pose. So I have my figure of my guy here. So the next thing I need to do is I need to trace around my figure. And actually, I think I'm going to give him some hands to make it, and feet to make it a little bit easier to trace around. There we go. So I'm gonna hold my pipe cleaner guy with one hand and trace around him with my other. And the reason why we're doing this in pencil is because if you make a mistake, guess what? You can erase it. I erase my mistakes all the time because I know I'm not perfect. And I know I make mistakes, and maybe if I need to move my arm out of my way, I can do that because he's very bendable. So I'm going to use this as my guide. I may have to move my hands so that I can make him stay still, or her. So take your time tracing around your figure. So now I can always clean him up a little bit. So maybe I want to give him a little bit bigger body, and maybe I want to make his feet and legs look a little different. You can do that. Now that I have him fixed up, it's time to make my background. So I'm going to go ahead. Keith Haring used very simple backgrounds. They kind of looked cartoony. So I'm going to make some lines. Remember, he used lots of movement lines too. So maybe I want to add some movement so my figure looks like he's doing more than just standing here. And maybe I want to put some sort of lines in the background, like maybe I want it to be raining, maybe he's outside doing some sort of dancing in the rain. Maybe he's jamming to his favorite song out in the rain, splashing around in a big old puddle. Your background can be wherever you want it to be. And then I'm going to take a Sharpie or a dark marker, color pencil or crayon, and I am going to outline my lines that I made. So I'm just going to go around and outline my lines. Okay, so now that I've outlined, now it's time to erase my lines. You don't want your pencil marks showing, so I like to always erase them so my artwork is nice and clean. And the lighter you do your pencil marks, the less you'll see them when you're done. And if you did a really good job outlining, you won't even have to erase that much, which is pretty nice. And it's okay if there is some lines, not a big deal. So then now we can color it in. Keith Haring liked to use lots of simple colors and patterns. So if you want to, you can doodle inside your figure, or you can just color them one color. So maybe I want to make some lines and doodle inside of him, or I could just color him in. It's up to you. Okay, so now this is the final piece and you can see it's all done. So I added some more color to it, and I added a white space on the edges. You don't have to do that. That's an optional thing. I just think it looks kind of cool. I could go back through and make it a little straighter and neater. Also, you can see that I took my time and I don't have any white space showing on my paper other than the edges. So make sure you're taking your time. You don't need to rush.